Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper, and today I'll be doing my top 5 favourite bosses where you fight yourself. Now, when it comes to games, bosses are or one of the best parts of a game because they are really a test of skill when it comes to your reflexes and how to dodge some enemy patterns when it comes to the bosses, that sort of stuff. And there are a few games in gaming media where you get to fight a boss that is yourself, when it comes to the same moves, maybe some of the same attack patterns, might use some of the same items, that sort of thing. And yeah, in today's video I'll be going over some of my favorite boss fights who look like you in terms of design. But we get to fight them, that sort of stuff. So yeah. So for number 5 is Dark Link or Shadow Link, depending on who you ask. And he has appeared in the various Zelda games, with the first one being in Zelda 2, and its more recent one is Spirit Tracks. If you do all of the room area bits in Hyrule Castle Town, in that mini game section area that's next to where the train is. And what I like about the Dark Link fights is that it's basically your shadow, and depending on which game you play, it's either a mini boss fight or just a boss fight. So in Ocarina of Time, for example, it's the mini boss of the Water Temple, but if you're playing Zelda 2, he's the final boss. And yeah, I think with each fight, when you look at each of the Dark Link interactions, it's really good, and I think each one brings something new to the table. For example, in Zelda 2, it's just you fighting yourself. In Ocarina of Time, he will do the same sword swings as you at the exact same time. And then in Spirit Tracks, he'll probably throw bombs, do a giant spin attack, and yeah, and each fight really puts you on your toes and stuff like that. And even in some of the spin-offs, like the first Hyrule Warriors game, where you get to fight Dark Link, and then throughout some of the DLC bonus maps, you get to fight dark versions of the other characters in the game. So that's something really cool. And I think Dark Link, I do hope we get to see more of Dark Link in future Zelda games, and maybe as a boss fight, maybe, or an optional fight, so something like that. So yeah. For number 4, is the Persona 3 and 4 protagonists in Persona 5 Royal. Now, these are DLC boss fights, and these are optional boss fights you can fight in the game. And I'm not including Joker in this section because I haven't fought him yet, and you also need to unlock, or basically do all of Elizabeth's requests in Persona 3 Reload if you want to fight Joker. So that's why I'm not adding him in this part. But with Persona 3 and 4 protagonists, you can fight them pretty much whenever you want if you have the DLC for them. And yeah, I think they're quite hard to do because they're optional mini super bosses. They're kind of like the twins or the Reaper or Josei in the game, or Lavenza. And yeah, I think I do like the idea of characters in a mainline Persona game fighting previous protagonists with those previous protagonists not only using their main persona but also other personas as well. And yeah, that's something really cool. And I think getting to fight both the Persona 3 main protagonist and the Persona 4 main protagonist is a really cool thing to do. And I do hope we get to see more of this in future Persona games. So yeah, maybe in Persona 6 we get to have a DLC. We get to fight the Persona 6, or in Persona 7 we get to fight the Persona 6 protagonist, or something like that. So yeah. For number 3, it's Akane's Joker. Now, this can be found towards the later part of Persona 5 Strikers, and this is quite a difficult boss fight because the arena that you're in is basically this giant sort of square area, because it's like in this sort. I think it's supposed to be the Kyoto jail or something like that, from what I remember from Strikers, and it's basically just you fighting yourself, and it's not you fighting along with the other Phantom Thieves fighting Joker. It's every member of the Phantom Thieves fighting themselves, and I think that's a really interesting way of doing a boss fight, including when it comes to it being part of the story, because Akane is a big fan of the Phantom Thieves when you first meet her, and when she does get a jail, she summons the different Phantom Thieves, and you getting to fight yourself is such a cool way of doing a boss fight when it comes to fighting yourself, and also narratively, I think it works really well. And the boss arena is quite nice. I do like how much space you get in the arena, and it's just really fun to fight yourself and that sort of stuff. So yeah, for number 2 is Cosmic Mario from Super Mario Galaxy. Now, I know this isn't a fight when it comes to like boss fights, but I feel like this is a fight more in the sense of racing. Well, it is a race, but I feel like this is more of a fight of speed over brawling, and I would say each of the Cosmic Mario races are quite clever in how they're done, because you've got one of the early ones in the Honey Hive Galaxy, and that's just you going from the start to the end, nothing really of note. And then when it comes to one of the later ones in let's say in the Hot and Cold Galaxy, I think it's the Ice and Lava Galaxy. I don't 100% remember the name of the galaxy right now, but when it comes to that cosmic race, you're basically just skating on ice, and you have to like jump over all the different gaps, do the whole anti-gravity switching tiles, that sort of stuff, and just really just trying to make sure to get ahead of Cosmic Mario. And I think that's a really cool fight, or not fight, but like race fight to do. So yeah, I think that's quite cool. And for number 1 is SpiderMan from Insomniac Spider-Man 2. Now this is where you get to fight Peter in the game, and when you get to fight or be as Miles in that part of the game. And this is when Peter has fully gone symbiote crazy, in that because he's had the symbiote for so long in that part of the game, he's being more dark and evil, and he believes he is the person, or he is a better Spider-Man because he has the symbiote suit before it becomes Venom. And I think that's a good part of the game, because it just shows how much Peter relies on the suit and how much he needs the suit, needs in big quotation marks. And I do like how when you're playing as Miles, you have to try and use the bell to try and stun Peter, and then before he webs it up, and you won't be able to use it again for a while unless you destroy the webs. And I think this is a really emotional fight as well, because this is basically just because Peter has the suit, and this is a part of the game where the suit is kind of controlling him more and more. It kind of feels like some hidden darkness in Peter is kind of like spilling out a bit, in the sense that he feels like because he has the suit, basically because he has the suit on, he is the best Spider-Man. He is the best when it comes to Spider-Man and stuff like that. I think he even says it in the game, and even in the boss fight against him. And I do like how at the end, when he's ripping off the suit, he starts off with the head, like the mask area, and then he like kind of like digs his hands into the suit where the symbol is, and then just rips it off. And it feels so satisfying when to do that, just like to rip off the suit. It feels like you are freeing yourself from the suit when it comes to that part of the game. And yeah, I do like how at the end of the fight, Peter acknowledges what he did was wrong and that he had to destroy the symbiote. And I do like how he acknowledges that fact. Like, oh Miles, I'm sorry, I wasn't myself. I had the suit on. It wasn't me. And I do like how the characters acknowledge this after the fact. And I think it's just a very raw boss fight. And I do really like Yuri Lorenthal's performance during that scene because it just feels he's gone on the deep end in terms of that part of the game because of the symbiote and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's been my top 5 favorite boss fights where you fight yourself. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.